In 2024, there's a significant chance of shortages affecting different products. The agricultural sector is grappling with a broader crisis, anticipating shortages in rice, potatoes, corn, and other products. This crisis results from a combination of a global fertilizer sparsity, ongoing impacts of climate change, and geopolitical events, which are significantly influencing food availability. All of them are converging to impact the food supply. Eggs, disease outbreaks, and the culling of millions of birds in the United States are reducing the egg supply. Rising costs of poultry feed, partly due to wheat shortages, are adding financial pressure on egg producers. This paucity contributed to the overall increase in food prices because the limited supply of eggs made their prices go up. It's not just the US facing this problem, but Great Britain is also dealing with a shortage of eggs in 2023. These are the consequences of outbreaks in the United States that led to the death of millions of hens, which ultimately reduced the availability of eggs. Olive oil, Spain and Italy are major producers of olive oil, and they are facing challenges like unpredictable weather, severe droughts, heavy rains, and the spread of the bacterium. These factors are affecting both the quantity and quality of olive oil, which is leading to higher prices. Additionally, the Russia-Ukraine conflict is impacting sunflower oil production, and an export ban by Indonesia, which is a leading palm oil producer, exacerbates the situation. These factors create a scarcity in various cooking oils, which pose challenges for kitchen staples in the coming year. Coffee weather patterns are affecting crop yields significantly. Coffee production is vulnerable to environmental and economic factors. Climate change has disrupted weather patterns, which affects crop yields, while supply chain and labor issues further contribute to the scarcity. Brazil's droughts and excessive rainfall in other regions are threats to coffee yield. The scarcity is going to instigate the increased rates and limited availability, which will have an impact on everything from local cafes to supermarket brands. Tomatoes and potatoes, water scarcity, unpredictable weather, labor shortages, and rising transportation rates in major producing states like California and Florida are impacting crop yields. Tomato rates are expected to rise, which is prompting consumers to consider canned or preserved options. The potatoes will face scarcity in 2024. This scarcity is attributed to unusual weather patterns, including a cool spring and a hot summer, which adversely affect potato crops in major growing areas like Colorado and Idaho. Sweet potato fries can be a delicious alternative, but they can't fully replace the unique qualities of the classic spud. Honey threats to the global bee population, including habitat loss, pesticides, and diseases, are affecting honey production. Climate change further complicates the bee's ability to produce honey. Higher demand for honey will lead to significant rate increases. The shortage of honey is anticipated as winter approaches, particularly in the US. This issue isn't just hearsay from farmers' markets, but a genuine problem. We are witnessing a decline in bee populations, which are crucial for honey production. Despite a brief increase in their numbers, there's a sudden decline linked to various factors. Adverse weather conditions are playing a significant role. The surge in demand for honey, coupled with insufficient yield, poses a double challenge which is creating concerns about scarcity. The serious efforts should be involved in honey production. Bananas' threats from disease and unsustainable farming practices are affecting banana plantations. Any disruption in supply will lead to increased rates. Consumers have to consider diversifying their fruit choices. In recent years, alarming words like disappearing or extinct are being used about the future of the most common banana, which is the Cavendish banana. It is the standard yellow banana found in grocery stores and for many people in the United States. Unfortunately, the Cavendish banana has been mostly grown as a genetically identical crop, which is making it vulnerable to changes in weather and attacks from pests or diseases like a soil-dwelling fungus. Beef and chicken drought conditions and labor shortages are affecting the US beef industry, which is instigating higher feed prices. Beef and pork rates are going up due to ongoing paucity. The places that process meat like Tyson plants are closing, and there is not enough meat to meet the growing demand. The areas where they raise cattle are facing droughts, so there is not enough food for the cows, making it expensive for farmers. Also, the global situation is making the cost of food for cows go up, leading to 5.2% less beef being produced this year, and it is expected to drop by 7% next year. This will have a long-lasting effect on the US meat market. A 15% rate increase is expected due to drought forcing early cattle sell-off. There is a noticeable impact on meat prices as shelves are empty in sections where beef is typically stocked. The practical advice is to focus on the importance of canned meats as a reliable protein source during challenging times. Gradually build up a stock of canned meats to ensure preparedness for the future. Moreover, disease, rising feed costs and labor challenges are squeezing chicken production and driving up rates. Consumers will need to explore alternative protein sources like plant-based options or leaner cuts of meat. This situation is affecting everything from home cooking to restaurant menus. Oranges diseases like citrus greening and extreme weather conditions are impacting orange yield in Florida and California. Orange costs are expected to rise. In 2022, Florida had a tough time growing oranges because of bad weather like hurricanes. The orange harvest was 51%, which is less than usual, and it is the lowest since 1937. There is less mandarin and orange production because of bad weather, including storms and hail. The rates where oranges are grown are very high, and it's expected that selling prices will be much higher too because it takes more money to produce them. The harvest is late because costs are high. This means there won't be as many oranges available. Cheese dairy industry is facing serious challenges in the US. The cheese market is expecting a hike due to increased costs of milk production, labor shortages, and rising global demand. Consumers have to explore plant-based cheese alternatives. The rate of cheese is going up because US dairy farmers require more money to operate. There's not enough milk to meet the growing demand, and other factors like overpriced energy and global demand are also making cheese more expensive. The outlook for the market suggests that there's less raw milk being produced. The changes in milk components and higher demand from Latin America caused this crisis. Butter. There is a rise of 32% in the cost of butter and margarine. This increase is primarily attributed to low milk production in the US and labor shortages on farms, and these challenges are expected to extend into 2024. The sparsity of butter can lead to an increase in popularity of alternatives like soy butter. The dairy market is expected to grow in 2023, reaching $30.41 billion in revenue. However, dairy farmers are struggling with tough competition, increasing production, and lower milk costs. Limited labor and problems in the supply chain are additional factors behind this crisis. Despite a tight market, there's still a balance due to stable local demand and strong imports from Mexico. Beans. The shortage of beans can be attributed to the weather conditions of leading producers. Argentina experienced significant losses in its soybean crop in 2023 due to adverse weather conditions. This scarcity drove up meal prices and redirected export demand to the United States. Hot and dry weather in central Brazil has also contributed to the shortage. The shortage of beans is due to several problems worldwide, such as difficulties in the supply chain, limited workers and transportation issues, as not enough truck drivers in the US are available, which is making it hard to transport food. Bad weather in the US, like high temperatures and lack of rain, damaged the crops at the time of harvest. Turmoil in the global political situation and higher fuel prices are also the major factors. Peanut prices are expected to rise due to changes in climate patterns affecting growing regions and overpricing of farming inputs like fertilizers and fuel. Peanuts are in trouble due to longer dry periods and extreme weather conditions. Peanuts and peanut butter, which are known for their affordability and versatility, will become more expensive, impacting consumers who rely on them as protein sources or key ingredients in daily cooking and snacking. Bread and flour. The shortage of bread and flour is attributed to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. This conflict has affected 20% of global cereal grain production. The combination of this conflict and a severe drought has impacted wheat, which suggests that there is a challenging time ahead for bread and flour, which are central to many diets and symbolize community and connection. That's how geopolitical events can have far-reaching effects on everyday food items. Wheat crops are facing challenges due to unpredictable seasons. Corn. We are anticipating a steep rise in corn prices. Corn is a foundation of the agricultural powerhouse and is at risk due to storms, floods, and unpredictable weather. There's concerning news for corn aficionados in 2024. Farmers planted less corn, which suggests trouble for availability in the new year. The reduction in planting will result in sparsity of corn in 2024. This will dampen the festive spirit as the new year approaches. The food crisis is the result of complex interplay of factors influencing food prices, weather patterns, diseases, labor shortages, and global demand trends. Being aware of these issues can help consumers make informed choices about their food purchases. Comment down below on what you think. And if you liked this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.